we're gonna expose
Are
that
you,
right
okay.
here. Right here in this presentation. So the path of progress west of TSMC is really what this is about. Right here in this picture, you can see the 303 corridor, and you can see it looks like a NASCAR race. I mean, everybody's logo right there up and down the 303. And so this is between Bell Road and Cactus. So there's also about, I want to say about 1,500, or I'm sorry, 15,000 doors for residential in this, just in this small corridor. So for my, purposes of development, I do a lot of more open and rural development. So Bell Road right there, I'm going to show you Bell Road actually wraps around, and you can see in my picture behind me, it wraps around and goes back to the I-10, and that becomes, Bell Road becomes the Sun Valley Parkway. And I do believe it will become what will be the future of the 404, because out here in Arizona, we build highways and just keep making names. So west of the 303, Path of Progress Part 1 inspired me to look at stuff away from TSMC and understanding, and the housing before jobs thing that happens. And so right now the jobs are out there on the 303. So housing is going to be out west of the 303, out by the Sun Valley Parkway and Belmont, in Douglas Ranch, Terra Valleys, Tartesso, all of those areas out there in West Buckeye. Buckeye now extends all the way to the Hacienda River, which you can see here on this slide is basically it almost looks like Scottsdale, a map of Scottsdale, but this diagram is actually showing a red line where Interstate 11 is going to be. And Interstate 11 is basically going to run from Vegas to Nogales, and it is going to provide a massive path for commerce. And so the 303 currently has a 500 million square feet of warehouse space, with more coming. And they're all empty. So if you drive the 303 corridor, you can see everywhere from 100,000 to 500,000 square foot space for lease. And the reason you're seeing that is because these are built on spec. All of these developers are building on spec, and they're getting massive subsidies through the government right now.
Can you explain that, building on spec, just so we all understand?
Spec is that I'm building it based on the fact that I am building it in the hopes of somebody coming to buy it. Like a house builder, for example, will buy 10 acres, he'll split it, build 10 houses on spec. And that is basically relying on the market to bring a buyer so that I can sell the house pre-built,
So
not building it custom.
So basically building on speculation that
Speculation, right? So I'm using Pace Morby's model of doing speculation and prospecting, and then getting through his algorithm like that. When you look at real estate, that's what you're doing. Big real estate firms and big real estate developers are buying the land dirt cheap right now. Like you said, they already bought it dirt cheap over 2.5 years ago. They did entitlements, and then they did permits, and then they got the thing built using other people's money. And so now it's sitting empty with a for lease sign on it. And you're asking yourself, why is that? Why is all these things, being built like this? And it's because there's a zero emissions mandate coming down by 2042 that the state of California, I almost said Chicago, the state of California will no longer allow diesel motors to transport out of California. When you eliminate all the diesel motors in California, you're left with a Tesla dream come true, where they'll be building vehicles to ship out of California over to Arizona, turning this area into the port of Arizona. And
okay, so let's dive into that. So, because I know, does this have anything to do with it's the companies shipping everything from the ports to Arizona because it's cheaper?
I was just gonna jump into that. So I was actually gonna ask you guys if you know why they expanded the east side part of the airport to bring in imports. What would cause that, to actually expand it? Is it because it's going to be faster? What do you think, Michael? And I guess I'm just asking you a rhetorical question. Like, why would
Yeah.
they do that? Why would the state do that?
You know, the Buckeye Airport or the Phoenix Airport?
On the east side, on the
East side.
Mesa, you know how they
Mesa
expand it, how
Oh.
you can go a straight shot without having to go through Nogales, go through the different ports because it cuts off a lot of the traffic, right? But
Okay.
why did that semiconductor company want it, you know, to expand that and that side? Is it because it's there's the opportunity, or is it just I don't know? What would you think the reason why they created or they kind of invested into that?
I think Marcus might know.
Marcus, we're trying to do homework here.
No.
So the Mesa Airport, and being out here, right? Because around the Mesa Airport, there is a lot of fulfillment centers that they've built out here as well. And just a quick little side note, did you know that Amazon fulfillment plant out there, the dirt that was purchased, that was a massive flip?
Oh,
Somebody
really?
purchased that land from a family that was going through probate and then
Ooh.
ended up selling that land to Amazon as a
Oh.
flip. So
Yeah,
just a
and
little
then-
side note.
Yeah, wholesaling dirt, baby.
Yep, that's exactly what they did and made, you know, a substantial killing, you know,
I was gonna say
with
probably
that
the
wholesale
biggest.
deal.
Millions.
Yeah, also do ever.
I like to do that right there when I do that. Million.